Welcome back, my name is Spectre. You're watching VGL's 2v2 Season 2, Week 3 action, Game 2, between a very hotly contested Game 1 of Team Flawless versus Team AngerManagement. Team Flawless continuing the flawless streak, Team AngerManagement probably getting a little more angry. Last game, once again, I feel Jetflyer kind of taking the reins on most of the attacking. Be Nasty not taken out of the game early, but still seemed just as neutered. Really just not. I don't feel like there was a lot of cohesion on the team. It felt like, really Jetflyer was carrying most of the weight on the attacks, and not sure if that translated to any frustration. Not really sure what was going on. It seemed like there was a lot of indecision on Be Nasty's part as far as what he was going to be doing. In the end, another long game lost to attrition. So these are the kinds of games that really they could be winning. We saw it when they played Team Sean Paul, another top team, undefeated. They had a chance to beat that team. They did. They had a chance. They took an early lead. Second game could have gone either way, but unfortunately, Be Nasty was crippled very early on and really was never able to bounce back, and Jetflyer just eventually ran out of gas. Some very critical games there. We have seen some missteps from Jetflyer. We have seen some bad micro ruin a chance at really being able to take out El Pollo Loco, his arch rival nemesis enemy. Just a few key moments there where things could have gone a different way, but unfortunately a little bit of bad micro. And to be honest, last game not really that fantastically played by Team Flawless. I mean, we saw some really weird decisions, like really slow banelings for 30 minutes. It's basically Mord's MO for that game, was I'm going to make slow banelings the whole game. Maybe he did it on purpose, I don't know. Maybe he's toying around with them. Maybe he just really starting to enjoy me making fun of him for making slow units. I don't know. And then, we had Kid really just being very passive for most of the early game, the first half of the game. So not really mistakes, just, opportunities for the other team to have taken advantage, and they really didn't. And I would really like to see a game where Team AngerManagement just plays their style, which is, run and gun, nose to the ground, just hit hard and keep hitting until the guy stops moving. That's how we've seen them win game. In fact, every game they've won has been that way. It's been a game where they've just attacked and they've never stopped attacking. So they really just need to play their game, and that's something that they've had a lot of trouble doing in this season, is playing their game. They're always playing everyone else's game. So we'll have to see what happens here. Greystone Ravine, split map. Nice little heart-shaped box here in the middle for expansions. A little shared ramp here. Lone bunker going down for Kid. Got a nice little gateway block off here with some zealots. Not really anything else to report. We do have Overlord just kind of hanging out in the back here, looking shady. And really not too much else. Expansion going down, about to pop for Mord. Mord playing this pretty standard Mord style. We do see the spine crawler very oddly off on the front here as opposed to close to the base, but makes him feel better at night. I got it. And we do see the factory coming down, the mine build really saving them from some early damage. Really helped to mitigate the early damage that we saw them face from that early attack in game 1. Kid, of course, going to double down on these mines. Does anyone else find it interesting that the mines have like little headlights? For something that spends most of its life underground, it's a little odd that it has a headlight. I don't know. I mean, it's a robot. It's not even a person piloting this thing. So you'd think it have like some night vision, thermal vision, seismic vision. I don't know. Flashlight just seems like it's kind of wasteful. Anyway, we do have some mines rolling around, looking for convenient places to be annoying, as all Widow mines strive to be. And we do see some early lings coming out with speed, no foreskin this time, so we have some circumcised lings out. And I do hear the bunker getting filled up. We do have quite a bit of zealots. Let's take a look at that unit tab. We got 10 Marines out for Jetflyer. Looks like that standard early attack with a little bit more muscle behind it. Not sure if this is... Looks like it's most likely going to be an attack. You have both teams one-basing. I hope to God it's an attack. Let me put it that way. So you don't want a one-base for just a really impressive defensive showing. Unfortunately, these mines probably going to be very bad for the party. Kid kind of being allowed to just move a bunch of mines up, and we'll see. No, for whatever reason, we did not see that mine do anything. So I guess they just barely skirted it. He's leading him back. Oh, there's one missile, and he will go ahead and burrow. Will he get it in time? Yes, he will. Oh, and a second mine goes off. Unfortunately, Zealots have like 400 hit points each, so while it was enough to give them a little bit of a scratch, it is not enough to kill them. So these mines will frustratingly move over here with their headlights and burrow. Meanwhile, these Lings hanging out, very happy to be free from that foreskin. 3 more mines lined up, and these Zealots are going to go ahead and recharge their shields, hang back a little bit. Not really anything else to talk about. We do have a starport down for Kid. And there we go, the triple line of racks. That is when really production takes it to another level. So far, a little bit of mine harassment, few pissed off Zealots. And here we go. Jetflyer launching 2 medevacs full of Marines, looks like 2 Marauders. And he will roam around and very unluckily skirt past the Xel'Naga. Don't you hate when that happens, when Xel'Nagas just appear in front of you? But yes, he flew right across the Xel'Naga, so unfortunately these mines will be waiting for him. And he cleverly scanned and knows that they are there, so he has moved himself to the other side, where these Marines will wait for him. So unfortunately for Jet, this is not going according to plan. He does have some good building coverage here, kind of funneling those troops in, able to take that out, and we do have these mines rolling up here. Hopefully he has seen it. It looks like he'll just barely stand. Oh, and he takes both mines out. Some very good micro there from Jet. He is definitely not going to let the micro slip on that one. He took those mines out, and this is one of these things where it's a small problem quickly becoming a large problem. So right now we have quite a bit here. Unfortunately, these Lings are going to kind of ruin the party just a little bit. And 1 medevac safely evacuates those troops. Kind of worth it, I think. You know, we got a building on fire, 2 other buildings destroyed. This thing's only half built. I mean, not too bad, right? I mean, killed off a bunch of Marines and stuff. So not too shabby. Killed 2 mines too. A little revenge for last game. So this expansion, something should happen with it, because pretty soon this one base is going to start to get overpowered. You see Jet bringing this in, but you know what? I'm proud of them because they're playing their game right now. They are doing the attacks. They are keeping them on defense. Take a look at that income tab, and holy hell, what is happening here? 18 workers for Be Nasty. Less than 1,000 resources for both members of AngerManagement, and this Stalker playing a little bit of tag it with these mines. And there we go. The mines realize that their time is probably up here. They're going to go for that Stalker kill, though. No, they did not. They did not. It's just, you know, they just like digging in the sand, apparently. So we do have this Overseer kind of skirting the lines here. Nidus Worm, uh-oh. Look at that. Nidus Worm detected. Wow. That is just blinking on that screen. So we do have a worm coming out for Mord. It has been detected. They are aware it exists. However, for whatever reason, all the units that can shoot are running away from it. So we do have some Banelings, not slow this time. Very proud of him for that. Unfortunately, they're just kind of running around, and it looks like, oh, they got a little sidetrack, but they finally found their target, taking out some of those Lings. Meanwhile, we do see some medevacs airlifting over here to the other side, so it looks like we're going to have a 2-pronged attack. These Zealots very quickly go into town on these roaches here, possibly taking that out. But guess what? A little how do you do there from Jetflyer as he drops off you know, a nice contingent of Marines here. Going to go ahead and take out this base. This is the main, of course, so ooh, extra painful there. These roaches tried to come back, but it's a little late there. So this is one of these moments where you realize that you left the door open when you went to work and you forgot to lock it. So unfortunately, you know, while you thought you were having a good day, it turns out actually having a pretty bad day. And that base will definitely fall. Spawning Pool and Nidus Worm barely surviving. Very quickly going to be rebuilt. It does have the resources to do it. But that was a pretty happy attack there from Jet. definitely much more effective there. I like how he did not, like, they made the decision. They saw these units pouring out of the Night Swarm. They had to make an instant decision, right? Whether it was one of them, both of them, someone had to say, B, you can take this. Or maybe B said it. Maybe he said, hey, I got this. And Jet said, F it, I'm going to the other base. I'm going to drop off all these guys. I'm gonna show Mord what happens when you leave your door unlocked. And that's what he did. He basically made him pay for it. And, you know, Mord probably not too happy about that, having to rebuild that Roach Warren, rebuilding that main base down to one base. It's torture for a Zerg going down to one base. He did the right thing, though. He instantly upgraded the expansion to the full base by layering it up. You know, that's what when your wife leaves you, you make the mistress your girlfriend. You know, that's basically the right move there. So, you know, he's instantly upgraded this base, trying not to lose momentum as much as he can. We do see this Nidus network kind of rallying back up here. Not quite sure where it's going to end up. We do have a scan coming down, and look at that, perfectly scanning that Colossus, letting them know, hey, it's here. And it looks like they do have a location for the worm, and it will pop in this this third expansion possibly, or maybe it's just kind of creeping in over here. Unfortunately, he's got quite a few buildings to detect that. It's going to be really difficult to drop this worm right in the base. I mean, there is really no room where it will not be detected. The best he can hope for is maybe outside the base, or yeah, I mean, really just not worm friendly. Maybe over here. Maybe you could pull something off over there, but good luck getting there. So I'm not really feeling the worm right now. We do see a Kid going for an expansion. Looks like Mord is claiming this one, so yeah, it looks like Kid will be going here. And that's going to be needed. Definitely going to want to double down because this game is going into overtime. Look at B Nasty, 12 harvesters. What a boss! You know what it takes to only have 12 harvesters at 16 minutes into a game. I mean, you have to have some serious courage to do that. I mean, look at the unit count on this. I mean, it is staggering. We have literally like 8 units for B Nasty. Everything else is Jetflyer. Jetflyer thankfully doing a great job slowing Mord down. So, and look at the siege. Look at, he brought enough siege this time. And look at that Zerg army just evaporate under the pressure of that Colossus, of course. Gonna add some much needed DPS and range. And don't want to overcommit on this now. It's very. This is where it's almost like playing the piano, the way you got to move these siege tanks up. Like, you really need to hit your keys just perfectly. And look at that execution there. Jet brought his A game. Do you see this? This is unbelievable. He goes. Some games he just mismicros quite a few things, and then he does things like this, where it's just like it's like J-Lo is choreographing these siege tanks. They're just so gracefully moving up like that. It's unbelievable. You know, so it's like he has ballerinas inside these siege tanks, just gracefully moving themselves up. And look at these Vikings just completely crapping on this party, trying to take out all these medevacs. We have quite a bit here as the Nexus War strategy begins to unfold. We see a trickle of units coming in here. This is starting to look a little grim, I have to say. AngerManagement, they may have reached the boiling point. And, you know, we do have this very nice game of leapfrog with these siege tanks as they continue to creep up. Very good positioning there. These Vikings, though, a little bit of a problem for these medevacs, quickly just eroding them away. We do have more and more units trickling in. And look, we even have 3 Zealots from B Nasty coming in. Unbelievable. That's going to definitely help. We do also have these Stalkers here as well. So as this starts to trickle in here, Jetflyer, I can almost hear the maniacal laughter. This siege creep, he finally got the right number of siege tanks. Unfortunately, these Marines kind of overstaying their welcome on the front line, kind of need to fall back there. Those siege tanks, though, definitely going to keep those Marines at bay, giving Jet enough time to rally in this enormous trickling of units here. More siege tanks. Yes, just more siege tanks. Right now, the siege tanks are like bacon at the breakfast buffet. You just want to keep grabbing as much as you can without looking greedy. And that's what he's doing. He's just loading on the bacon. We do see some Banelings rolling in here, getting evaporated by the siege line. And it's getting pretty nasty over here. That nice forward production from Kid is gone. We do see some infestors out here. Unfortunately, they are being forced to waste their fungal on these zealots. Just not a good situation overall, and this is very quickly looking very bad for Flawless. Anger Management really pushing in here. As long as Jet can keep up this siege tank maneuvering, I think he can do some serious damage. If not, maybe even win the game with this. We do see, he's holding a good unit position here. Scan going down. I mean, I'm sure at this point, Kid is like, how many? Just tell me how many siege tanks does he have? It's just really getting out of control. Look at the physics on these Zerglings. I mean, it's just like it's somersaults. You know, it's like it's just. Right now it is, look at that, he's even bringing the mules in to repair the siege tank. They're not really that damaged, but you know, it looks good. It's just at this point, you know, you have the ability to go for the look of the attack. You know, like, yeah, I'm not badass. Like, I have siege tanks going off, I have mules coming in to wipe the sweat off the brow of the ballerina pilots as I just keep leapfrogging these things and triple lutzing this stuff all over Kid's base. And we do see finally this, I don't know, I think it might be, yeah, there we go. He looked like he was trying to escape for a second there, but I guess he decided to drop. And finally, a good counterattack here, taking out a lot of those siege tanks, only 2 left. Colossus, of course, finally getting some range, and taking out that Baneling nest. God, that thing was annoying, wasn't it? Just take it out, moving all this up. See more and more units trickling in. Even B is getting in on the action here. Look, he's up to 33 harvesters now. He's entered the mid game. Look at all these drones committing suicide, just saying, forget it, I don't want to live anymore, just kill me now. And that infestor finally getting a good shot off with the fungal growth. And this is just not looking good. Flawless cannot be happy here. I mean, right now this is just it's a slaughter. It's an absolute slaughter. All hell has broken loose. Anger Management has reached its boiling point. And, you know, it almost makes you wonder if they had won the first game, if they could have gotten their act together in that early game, played this way, this would have been a sweep on an undefeated team. I mean, there is no way to bring you back from a losing streak than to do that. And finally, last of the siege tanks going down to those infested Terrans. But at this point, I don't even think Jet cares anymore. He's just running on pure adrenaline. He's only got 1 medevac healing this entire army. No, I'm sorry, he's got a couple more medevacs in there. But, you know, finally some Mutalists on the field as well. More down to 1 base that he can't even mine. We do see him just pushing in here on Kid, trying to go for the only person that probably has anything worth standing, but they're really drained on minerals now. Take a look at that resource tab. We see Mord floating a ridiculous amount of minerals. I mean, unbelievable amount of minerals. So unfortunately not a lot of gas. So it looks like Kid has the gas and Mord has the minerals. So they're going to have to combine forces and choose who's going to build what here, because really all Mord has is a bunch of lings at this point that he could try to build. And I don't see that being enough at this point to try and stop this attack. And we do see a side attack going on here, taking out those expansions. And there's the GG from Kid. Mord following suit. And Team Flawless falls to Team Anger Management, tying up the series, forcing a Game 3. Wow. What a different 25 minutes this was. You compare this to the 30-minute first game, and it was like 2 different teams. Well, 2 different teams in the sense of the strategy. As far as the builds, as far as the slowness or, you know, the tempo, it's more or less the same. The only difference we saw was a change in strategy here, and that's so key. I mean, B didn't really do much different than last time. He still had a very slow start, eventually building up and expanding. Jet, you know, going for expansions a little bit sooner, building up his army, but we saw the aggression. We saw them really just hitting and forcing Flawless to play their game, and it paid off in dividends when they were able to pull this off. You know, and they had fast blings this time around, Mord, and they still lost. So this is definitely a show of force. At this point, they got angry last game. Last game, they said that we cannot continue to let games like this slip, you know? And that game may still come back to haunt them depending on what happens in Game 3. So let's just get into it, right? I mean, we got all this energy. Let's get into Game 3. So we got Game 3 coming up right now.